from Germany. They heard that two Jews tried to tamper with the Prophet's grave, alayhi salam. These stories, or this story, was mentioned in the books of history, and the Ottoman, I think, emperor had the Prophet ﷺ visiting him in his dreams a number of times, or one of the rulers of the empires at the time. Maybe it's not the Ottoman, maybe it's before, I don't remember. But you can see it on Islam Q&A, the story, the full story. So he rushed with his army to Medina. He gathered the people of Medina to check on the inhabitants of Medina and to know if there are any strangers. So when they came to greet him, he asked, "Is this all?" And they said, "Yes, these are all the people here." And he emphasized and looked until they said, "Yeah, there are two pilgrims who came, and they are so worshipping Allah. They're always in the masjid or in their homes. They never go out. And they are like the Turks or from Europe." So he summoned them, and they brought them, and he addressed them, and they gave in. They could not hold themselves, and they confessed. And they checked, and they found that they dug a tunnel from their home until the masjid, or underneath the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ, and they were trying to reach his chambers so that they can tamper with his body, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Allah protected that chamber and the Prophet's body, alayhi salatu, and this ruler came and made like a steel surrounding walls, and he protected it with so many things that so that it would be impossible to reach it through such means, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. From Tunisia, he says, what is Hadith al-Ahad? This is a technical terminology known to the scholars in terms of defining the hadith. What is the hadith? And they classify it to hadith mutawatir, hadith that was narrated by Bukhari and Muslim, which is one of the highest levels after the mutawatir, and a hadith that is mustafidah, that is so widely spread but doesn't reach the level of mutawatir. And then they come to a hadith that is known as ahad. Ahad comes from one, which means that the levels and the stages of narrators, each stage and level has not reached the level of tawatur, of having so many people in one level. So if the hadith was narrated by one companion, they consider this to be ahad. Though it is so famously accepted and well known, yet they label it as ahad. It's a technical terminology. Now, latecomers and people of innovation like al-Mu'tazila and those liberals and those secularists and those who want to discredit the Sunnah as a whole, they use this technical terminology to tarnish the reputation of the Sunnah. So they come and say, no, we will take only al-mutawatir. Because Quran is mutawatir, we will accept the hadith that are mutawatir. What do you mean by that? The mutawatir hadiths are a handful. So few. So yeah, ahad is not necessarily indicating that it is true and gives us the certain knowledge of its authenticity. It might be, it might not be. And this is not the way of the Salaf. The Prophet ﷺ, the companions, the Tabi'een, the Tabi'at Tabi'een, may Allah have mercy and be pleased with them all, they all accepted Hadith al-Ahad. And to show you that these guys want to only tarnish the Sunnah and discredit it so that they would dismantle Islam from the foundations, you go and read the Sunnah itself. When the people of Quba were praying Fajr, and one man came from the companions and shouted at them that last night a verse was revealed to the Prophet ﷺ that the Qibla has been transferred and changed from Jerusalem to Mecca, to the Kaaba. So it was 180 degrees. While they were praying, none of them said, okay, this is a one person. Can we implement his narration, which is ahad? Or should we wait for 5 or 10 more witnesses to confirm this? No, they immediately acted upon it. When the Prophet used to send messengers, he used to send one person, not a handful of people just to confirm one another, which means that this is totally not kosher nor legit.